Hey folks, in this video I want to show you another parking garage playset, and this one is the Dyna City 5-level parking garage from MotorMax. So another one of these sets that's, this one in particular I got at a Fleet Farm store, which they have many of those in the upper Midwest in a few states. And so that's where I got this. They have, that particular store has toys like this around during the holidays, just before Christmas, that sort of thing. So that's when I got this. And it's one of these, kind of, I guess you can call it an off-brand-ish garage playset. There are a lot of variations of these out there from different brands and things. Of course, Hot Wheels and Matchbox have some of their own as well, but there's actually a lot more of these garage-type sets out there from all kinds of other brands that show up in stores here and there, and of course they're always online. I mean, if you were to do an online search for, parking garage playset or something, you'd come up with, so many different variations from different brands. Hard to keep up with them all, honestly. But this one is one that I'm excited to open because it looks very promising to me, I guess. We'll see. I know that these Dyna City sets, this is probably the largest of all of them, but they have some smaller ones that are very similar to the, and definitely inspired by the Hot Wheels World sets from the 90s, that they're actually still selling in stores, at least as of, when I got this one in the holiday season of 2024, and now I'm just getting around to opening it in 2025. So, those are things that have been out there. Now, this one itself, like I said, very promising because it seems like it, just by the pictures anyways, it looks like it should be, at least somewhat well built, and I like the look of the features on it. I mean, it's very classic. It's your standard, multi-level type of garage where each level is basically the same exact piece. And all of these 5 levels are going to be, it's places to park your cars. That's all it is. And I actually really like that because it's kind of fun to just have a big parking garage with a lot of parking places. And then on the bottom, this one actually is pretty small compared to other sets. But it does have like a little service bay area down here. Sometimes other sets will have like a car wash or something. This one you can tell is it's pretty small down here. I wish it had like a bigger base in the back with more parking on the ground level, but in any case, it is what it is. It does include 5 die-cast cars, which is awesome. There's a kind of quick look at the top, and then the bottom. There's nothing too exciting there, or really on the sides either, for that matter. So, just a kind of quick look at that. But then, here's a look at the what the back of the box looks like. Sorry for some of the glare, but you've got ramps that go down through each level, and it looks like you can send the car from the top all the way to the bottom, and it'll spiral all the way down. It's got a little service booth with an exit gate, and then what is this? Spiral action launch tower with working berries. All right, so you can, it's got little diverters, I guess. You can send the car to a different level or something like that. Working elevator, that's cool. What else is there? Car lift, that little feature down there. So that's kind of a look at the features, and with that all said, I think it's going to be time to crack this open and see what we've got inside. Alright, so this is what we get. I've actually not seen too many of these recently where they have a, kind of a cardboard piece inside here holding everything together, but just a quick look at all the pieces. These cars included, they look very plain actually, which is, I guess that's okay, but they look very plain. And then all kinds of, very similar pieces that just are for assembling the set. We've got 5 identical ramps here. And then it should be 5 identical parking levels here. And then you can tell that this one here is the ground level. So there's a quick look at that. And yeah, you can see it's kind of small. Just got a ramp here, which will come from all the spiral ramps, and then just the little up and down service bay, which this is pretty nice actually. So like I said, I'm quite excited to put this set together, hoping it's going to be one that I'm going to like enough that I will actually keep it, instead of being like, all right, well, that was fun to take a look at, but I don't think I need to keep it because it's not that great of a set. So I'm excited. I'm going to go ahead and put this together. Actually, maybe first, since I have it, and these are easy access, let me just show you what we have for stickers and instructions. And look at all these little parking stickers, probably one for each parking spot, maybe more. That's a lot. So, but otherwise, not too many others. It's about kind of what you'd expect. And then instruction sheet. Everything looks fairly self-explanatory, and it's only one page. And then we do have this, a little cityscape for the very top. So I'm going to go ahead and put this together. We'll see what it looks like. Actually, one more quick fun thing before I put this together. I didn't show you this piece because it was kind of hiding in here, but this is going to be the little spiral piece that operates the elevator, as you can see kind of in here. The interesting thing that I'm noticing about this is if you get up real close to it, you can see that it's in, it has some different segments. I don't know if you can really see that easily on camera or not, but there's like a segment here and here and here, and there's a few different segments. So, you know, in theory, you could maybe, you know, this feels like one solid piece the way it is, but I wonder if you could carefully detach these, and then if you were to buy, say, a second one of these sets, you could just make this thing longer and taller, and you could just stack these up and make like a 10-story parking garage. I think other than the elevator, you know, not being sure if you can do that, all these other pieces are all identical. So you could just, if you bought another one of these and you wanted a 10-story one or even higher, you could do that, I think, in theory. So just a fun little bit. And now we'll go ahead and put it together. All right, first thing, folks, let's just take a quick look at the 5 cars included. And as far as the look of them goes, like I said, they kind of look a little bit plain, but they're okay. I kind of like the designs of them, generally speaking, except for this one here. It looks kind of like a bug, and I'm not, I guess I'm just not really too into that design so much myself. But anyways, yeah, here's what the rest of them kind of look like. And the quality of these is kind of as you'd expect for kind of a budget type set. They're a little plasticky feeling, light, cheap feeling. I've seen worse than this. Definitely seen worse, but these are just, you know, they don't compare quite with the Hot Wheels and the Matchbox. And we have the set. Here it is. So I have it fully assembled. And so first impressions of it, first of all, assembly-wise, generally pretty straightforward. You can see we got the label sheet. Doesn't have any, like, indication of what, you know, where you put the labels on the label sheet itself. But it does have a little map right here that helps. And then on the instruction sheet shows you where exactly to put them all. They all fit pretty nicely. So everything is good there. And assembly of the rest of the set was fairly straightforward, so that's good. Now, I guess the things I don't like about it right off the bat are that it is a bit flimsy. If you try to lift this up, for example, I mean, it's not going to be in one piece. You're going to start to have pieces coming apart. So that's why I'm kind of being a little bit careful with it. So, you know, once it's kind of set up, it's sturdy enough, but you can see how it's just not a very structurally sound set, I guess you could say. So, but kind of what I was expecting for a cheaper set like this. The only feature I've tried so far is the elevator, and I'm not super thrilled with it. Let's maybe just give that a try with one car here and try and get it up to the top. So it's simple twist the crank. It's got one little gear connection in here. And let's see if we can get it. So you can see right now I'm twisting it and it's not moving. Sometimes it'll catch, sometimes it won't. And you gotta, like, I don't know, kind of just like push it in a little bit more. So it's not, so I'm gonna have to like hold this in to keep it going or something. See, it just doesn't, now it's kind of working. It doesn't catch very well. So we're just going up a little bit at a time. Let's see. how much of a job is this going to be to get it up to the top? And then once you get up here, it starts like clicking for whatever. I don't know what's exactly getting stuck. It might be honestly where some of these pieces like are, you know, they're kind of split pieces. Hard to say for sure. Well, that's not very good. Let's see, I don't know if I can get the elevator easily past where it's currently at. So, let's see. Yeah, it just keeps clicking there. I don't know, folks. Now it's kind of going without the car. Let's see here. Of course, I'm doing it one-handed too, but still, it shouldn't be this hard. Oh, almost there. Oh, nope. Oh, the gear's not stuck anymore. Almost there, almost there. Maybe, oh, now it's clicking. Okay, I got it to the top. So that, you can see that was a piece of work. So not impressed by that at all. Let's park the car here. Now I got the camera on a tripod so I can see if I can use two hands maybe to get it down. Now that time was actually smoother than I thought. Now let's try another car, and I'll use two hands to try to get it up. That might make things a bit easier. I'm gonna have to put pressure along the top of this thing to make sure that the gear still kind of connects with the lifting piece. It gets kind of caught up around the third floor. So, let's see, just a little more. A bit smoother with when I'm using two hands. Let's send this down one more time. But it's not exactly the most user-friendly elevator, I would say. It's a rickety elevator that this thing comes with, and that's kind of unfortunate. I like when a garage set has a working elevator and it works well. This one is pretty subpar, I would say. It's just a matter of trying to get it through some of these tough spots here, which is really annoying. See if I can get this up to 4. There we go. Park that one there. See if I can bring it back down. All right, so 2 more. We'll try 2 more, I guess, and send these ones to lower floors. See if I can get this one up to 3 easy enough. That worked pretty well. So, kind of goes to the lower floors easily, not the upper ones, though. And this one will bring to level 2. Well, that worked very nice. So, there we have that. So then, what else do we have? Like I showed you, a lot of parking places. You got that little cityscape there, which is kind of neat. Then you got the spiral ramp features. And each level, all these are the same, has this little diverter here, and I guess you have your, you can either stop it here and have a car stop on a level before it reaches the bottom, or just leave them all open like that. And this would also be a way to, let a car go down the ramp from whatever level you're starting it at too. So, kind of very basic. Not sure if it's the most effective way to, have cars be able to stop at a level. If they had like some sort of opening here where the car could just launch into this level, if that's where you wanted to stop, that would be kind of cool. But that's not what we have. So anyways, we've got 2 cars on top. Let's maybe try sending one down and see how well that works. I've got all the diverters open all the way to the bottom. So here we go. That was pretty smooth, actually. Not too bad. So there's that one there. Maybe we'll try stopping one here just for fun. So we'll try this one from the top. And actually, I'll try it from the very top. Why not? So that one stops there. We can let this one go through all the way to the bottom. And then let this one, let's see, then you could just, you know, drag it off here if you wanted, or just let it go from here. And I'll set up this little diverter here to see how that works. We got 2 more cars to send down from the upper levels. And then while we're down here, since I stopped this car here, why don't we check out the service bay. So we've got a little, let's see if I can just zoom in here. Yeah, just a little service bay here. You can pretend to, you know, give your car some service. Drive over here, get some gasoline. And then we have this little lift feature here, little repair lift. That goes up and down pretty smoothly. No complaints there. That's very nice. Then you can just drive right off here. And the cool thing about these two is that these are kind of standard connection pieces for this Dyna City collection. So if you have any of those other smaller playsets and things, you can actually connect the track pieces right here. And I suppose in theory to some of these other levels as well, but well, that would be kind of impractical. But they are the same connectors nonetheless. So that's pretty neat. And I guess while you have the elevator at an upper floor, I mean, if you want to park a car right here, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. So there's that. We've got one more car up here. So maybe we'll send that one down as well. And send that one into the service bay. And back this car up here. Here we are at the ground. And folks, I think we've seen enough of how the elevator works, so instead I've got all the 5 cars on top. Let's maybe start with one from the very top. Let's see, I gotta make sure I've got all my diverters so that the cars can go all the way down. I do. So let's start one from the very top and then send the rest down behind it. Alright, so that's what we've got, folks, for this playset. And as you can see right there, just trying to get this car back here, and these pieces are all falling out. So the construction quality of this set, it's a little bit flimsy. See if I can get this back in. In theory, a person, I suppose, if they wanted this to be a more permanent thing, you could maybe use a little bit of glue and keep these more pieces semi-permanently in there. And other than that, let's see if I can get this elevator to the bottom. There we go. So it's an okay budget set. I really like the look of it, and I really like the parking places and everything. There's a lot of places to park your car. There's like 7 designed spots on each level. So what is 7 times 5? 35, I think. You know, so that's a lot of cars that you can park here. So that part I really like. I just don't really like some of the flimsiness of it, and then the elevator is difficult to control, especially up on the upper floors. So that's kind of a big bummer for me, honestly. That's what I was really hoping for, is that this would be a really nice elevator piece, because that's one of my favorite features of sets, honestly. Also having a good ramp way down, which this one is pretty good. You know, all the cars spiral all the way down without any struggle, and it's it's kind of fun to watch them all come all the way down. So that's pretty neat. Looks wise and everything looks great. I think it looks like a good set. Retail price on this, at least like full retail when I bought it, was about $30, which is it's about what you can expect these days. A little pricey, maybe just a touch, but that's it. It is what it is. So. But anyways, I think that'll do it for this video. A good look at this Dyna City 5-level parking garage. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching.